Good day, sir. The topic that I'm going to discuss today is about the Chapter 7 Police Investigative Report Writing. So, first, let us identify what is report in investigation. So, a report is defined as a story of action performed by men. In investigative report, writing a police report is a chronological or step-by-step account of an incident that took place at given time. Report is an exact narration of facts discovered in the course of investigation, which serves as permanent written records for present and future use. So, traditionally, police report is a narrative you have to write after completing an investigation. But actually, reports come in many different forms. Generally, they refer to any documentation record on a departmental form or other approved medium and maintained as permanent record. Next is uses and purposes of report. So police report are written at the scene of main events and as a result used for a wide variety of reasons. Example of these are first is criminal investigations, newspapers and media, reference materials, statistical data for crime analysis documentation, officers evaluation, statistical reporting. The two general types of police report, the basic or informal report and investigative or formal report. Let's tackle first about the basic or informal reports. So this account deals with the ordinary miscellaneous, usual, usual memorandum, letter or form accomplished by any member of a unit, section, bureau, or division within a department in accordance with prescribed regulation. Also, misreports in basic informal reports contains the following. Usually, the basic informal report contains the following items. First is the heading or the letterhead of the organization. Then officer section where the writer is assigned. Second is the person or office to whom it is addressed or submitted. Third is the text paper. And lastly, the name of the writer or the source of the report. Let's proceed with the types of investigative or formal report. So in the investigative and formal report, the there is the initial or advanced report. So it is an advanced account regarding a new case assigned to an investigator. It is written and submitted without delay after having conducted initial investigation of the case. It is accomplished whenever any development relevant to the case is discovered. Next is progress or follow-up report. So it contains the result of the follow-up investigation of a recent case. So this type of report is accomplished whenever any development relevant to the case is discovered. It serves as gauge or yardstick for detectives' efficiency. It has the details of how far you've gone towards the completion of a project, and it outlines the activities you've carried out, the tasks you've completed, and the milestones you've reached. Next is the final or closing report. It is a comprehensive narration of facts and details based on a thorough inquiry of the case by detective who initially started an investigation covering all facts and circumstances surrounding the case. So this final or closing report forms a clear picture of the crime committed in the minds of the readers for prosecutorial and judicial actions. This final or closing report is undertaken whenever the case is solved and considered as closed, signifying that the offender has been arrested. The evidence against him is complete to warrant prosecution and witnesses are located to testify for the trial. So it is the final document that assesses the success of the investigation. This provides a summary about the crime committed for the readers in prosecutorial. Next is qualities of a good report. First is accuracy. So it means in exact conformity to the facts and free from errors. So accuracy must be the core of what officers do and ensure that everything that is being reported is faithfully depicts reality. So from the tiniest detail to the big picture, context that helps put the report into perspective. So also, the precision or accuracy is one of the essential qualities of reporting. Literally, it means exact conformity to the facts and free from errors. Being accurate is being exacting. So all the facts must be objectively verified. The identification of facts is imperative to establish the corpus delicti or body of the crime in your report. So you must restrict your report to the facts of incident as you saw them or as victims and witnesses perceived and reported to you. So you must be accurately report the conditions of the scene as you have found them. Next one is the brevity. So it refers to the conciseness of expression. So the brevity also means that checking the development of your own ideas and accuracy of your expression. It also means saying much in fewer words as possible. Conciseness relates to the elimination of unnecessary words. Suggestion to help you write concise reports include using active voice, um, avoiding wordiness, eliminating unnecessary prepositional phrases, and using ordinary and commonly understood words. Most sentences in police reports are 12 to 15 words only. So brevity in report is important in providing enough information with accuracy in just few words or sentences and also easy to understand. So the next is clarity. So it means plain precision and clearness. So the format and language used in police reports must be simple and direct as possible. So in order to avoid misinterpretation of the information presented, police reports should be written with simple police report should be written in simple words and phrases. So the structure of report can also make the report easier to read and understand. For example, sentences should be avoided in paragraph, keeping it short to avoid the reader missing any important details while reading. The next is following must be considered to create a good police report. First is the report should be factual. So it may be considered as factual when all the details and information are based on the five senses of a man. The simplest words constructed in declarative and short sentences using the third person are all that is necessary for to be factual. Next is the report must be complete. So it must contain all facts and essential information revealed during the investigation. It is important for the readers of the report to know the complete information about the investigation to help the progress of investigation. Next is the report should be specific. So police report should be definitive, detailed, and particular. Next is the report should be fair and objective. So the report must show all the angles and sides of event. Motion, opinion, and personal prejudice should always be avoided. So the report must be equal to each side of the story, and any any opinion of the creator of the report must be avoided. And emotion and personal prejudice must be set aside, and focus must be in the incident to show all sides of the story correctly. So the next is the report should be up to date. So the report must be submitted on time and should include up to date information. So the readers of the report must be kept up to date at all times. So therefore, the information that they will receive must always be current. This is why the report should be current by submitting it on time. The next is the types of report writing. So there are 12 types of report writing, then I will just give brief explanation to these types of report writing. First is the investigation report, so it is all about the investigation. The progress report. Progress report has a follow-up effect, so it can simply be an accomplishment report. Next is a spot-up report. So the spot-up report is done after an incident took place in a certain area. So this type of report must be done or acted upon within 24 hours. So it is a concise narrative report of essential information covering events or conditions that may have immediate and significant effect on current investigation and operations. Next is the beat inspection or after patrol report. So this report is practice written communication in station level. So the beat inspection report is one of the most common forms of written communications. It is submitted daily by the duty beat supervisor. This differs from the after patrol report in terms of movement. Those on beat inspection do the do the routine check on foot, and those on patrol check those on patrol check their assigned sectors by using patrol cars. Next is situation report. So situation report is done on a need basis. So the commander has to know the actual situation of a particular incident which can be public interest. So the situation report is similar to patrol report. So both are submitted every 8 hours. However, while the patrol report is done on regular basis daily, the situational report is done on a need-only basis. Next is the formal report. So formal report usually contains introduction, summary, body, conclusion, and recommendation. Essentially, formal report is a presentation of facts or ideas. Sometimes this written work is lengthy. A long formal report usually contains the following basic parts: the introduction, summary, body, conclusion, and recommendations. Next is the arrest report. So they are used to document the events that transpired in the apprehension of person under police custody. So arrest report, it's a record of law enforcement agency of an arrest and of any related detention or confinement incident together with a connected charge. Clearance report are used to keep a record of the disposition of particular criminal case. Crime report, also known as fact sheets, which include suspect's description, corpus delicti, result of preliminary investigation, and modus operandi. Daily activity report, a typical log which includes operation, location, amount of times spent, and brief dispositions. And evidence report refers to the documentation of the collection and preservation of evidence as well as the participants in the chain of custody of the evidence. Incident report pertains to an account of the events not amounting to crimes but caught the attention of police assigned in particular jurisdiction, such as calls for services. The next is types of administrative issuance. So the circular usually deal with subjects such as delegation of authority to be known by field personnel, implementing instructions or regulations. So in the circular admin instruction, which are directory, advisory or informative in nature, more or less permanent in duration. They usually deal with subjects such as delegation of authority to be known by field personnel, implementing instructions or regulations. Example of these are circular from the ALG to PNP. Next is general circular, so it contains administrative instructions, which are directory, advisory, or informative in nature, more or less general in application, permanent in duration, and requiring compliance by or observance from or information of the employees and general public. Example of this is the firearms ban. Next is memorandum circular. So it deals with the subject such as explanation of certain rules and regulations which are complied with or executed by subordinates. Next is office circulars. So they pertain to communication in informing the majority in particular directorate or office only, not intended for those in the field. Office orders, they are purely internal instructions which are regulatory in nature, mandatory in character, and requiring definite compliance by personnel. So, special orders refers to the communication which are directives affecting the status of individual. So, special orders, the first to communication which are directives affecting the status of individual, such as appointment, transfer, promotions, relief from duty, separation, and leave of absence. Letter directive. So it contains routine directives by which subordinate headquarters or office are given instructions. So advice or information are given in this, and its validity is for 2 years unless sooner rescinded or superseded. Next is the letter orders. So letter orders, it pertains to instructions sent in the form of a letter to the person concerned. So letter orders pertains to instruction. So example of these are assignments, details, designation, and other related matters belong to this category. The next is standard operating procedure. So it is a set of instructions regarding the procedures to be followed on a regular basis desired by chief of the director or other or this is the SOP. So standard operating procedures, they are uh, for example, submission of reports, maintenance of motor vehicle, attendance, and similar activities are reflected in these SOPs. So let's proceed to the police blotter. So a police blotter refers to record of daily events or occurring with the area of responsibility, territory, jurisdiction of a given police command or unit. So official logbook with the daily register of all crime incident reports, official summary of arrests and other significant events or activities reported in the police station. So each PNP operating unit shall maintain an official police blotter where all types of operational and undercover dispatches shall be recorded containing the 5 Ws and 1 H of an information. So mostly, we observe that there, if there is a cases, let's say for example burglary, we immediately go to the police station and blotter the incident so that uh, so that the police intervene or keep a watch on the occurrence in order to track down the perpetrator and to apprehend that burglar. The next is the police blotter shall record book bound with hard covers and prescribed size of 12 by 16 inches. So the front cover shall bear the name of designation of police officer, uh, designation of the police force and specific district or station together with the designation of the particular police unit or substation. So the volume or book number, the series and number, and the period covered. Next is the contents of the entry. These are the contents about the entry. So the entry are of the police should be answered the following: who, what, why, where, when, how, along with the disposition of the case. So these are the questions are the 5 Ws and 1 H. So in answering the cardinals of investigation and the case disposition, all such materials details pertaining to the event, including the names of the suspect, the victim, a witness, if any, the nature of the offense or action, the possible motive, the place, the date, and all other information significant surrounding the case. Also, the officers to whom the case is assigned must be included and status of the case. So the following transactions are incident or entered in the police blotter. So first is the violation of ordinances and last reported or discovered. Next is all calls in which any members of the PNP dispatch or takes official action. All fire alarms, reports, and information received by the station. Movement or detention, prisoners with corresponding notations on the authority for such movement. Vehicular and other types of incident which require police action. So all injuries, bodies discovered, and suicides, damage property, all cases to which a member of PNP is involved, all arrests and returns made, and lastly miscellaneous cases, general and special orders, violation of the rules and regulation, and any other reportable incident that the substation or station commander or higher authorities requires to be recorded. The next is the procedure in making entry. So these are the procedures in making entries. So I will just read each procedure because it is understandable. So first is the all entries in the police blotter shall be handwritten in a clear, concise, and simple manner. So only facts, not opinions, are entered into the blotter. So no erasure shall be made in the entries. A pen with a black or blue ink is used in making the entries. Falsification in the blotter or any attempt to suppress any information therein is criminally and administratively punishable. Then the entries must be legibly written in longhand and consecutively numbered. Every page of the blotter shall be uninterruptedly and chronologically filed up. Any development of the case to be reflected in the blotter should be a new entry at the time and day it was reported. Lastly, in every ship, the duty sergeant under the supervision of the duty officer or complaint desk officer shall make the actual entries in the blotter, and at the end of his tour of duty, they shall sign the blotter. So that's all. Thank you.